Okay, so this is lesson 8. Me and Uncle Romie. I'm going to do the preview of the topic with you first. It's on page 229. And follow along. This is about visual arts, this story. Visual arts such as paintings, collage, and sculpture appeal mostly to our sense of sight. A collage combines many different materials in a single image. A collage may include paint, bits of cloth, photographs, ticket stubs, and anything else the artist wishes to use. In Me and Uncle Romie, the character of Uncle Romie is based on a well-known visual artist named Romie Burdon. His work portrays African American culture in the United States, especially in the American South and in Harlem, a neighborhood in New York City. Okay, and the essential question, which is on page 231, your title page where it says Me and Uncle Romie, the essential question we're going to be focusing on is how do an artist's experiences affect his or her art? How is what they experience in the world, how does that impact what they do as art? Okay. Now we're going to start reading so you can follow along. I'm going to start on page 232 in your packet. So in the box here, I'm going to start, okay, right here. I'm going to start up here right beneath the picture, okay? James waits nervously on a passenger train bound for New York City to visit his Aunt Nanette and Uncle Romie. He has never met them before, and he's a little concerned. James has left behind his home in North Carolina, and though he misses his friend BJ, his dad, and his mom, who will soon have twin babies, James hopes he will have fun on this summer vacation, especially since his birthday is coming up. Then I saw it, New York City, buildings stretching up to the sky, so close together, not like North Carolina at all. Penn Station, watch your step, the conductor said, helping me down to the platform. I did like Daddy said and found a spot for myself close to the train. Swarms of people rushed by. Soon I heard a silvery voice call my name. This had to be Aunt Nanette. I turned and saw her big smile reaching out to welcome me. She took my hand and guided me through the rushing crowds onto an underground train called the subway. This will take us right home, she explained. Home was nothing like I'd ever seen before. No regular houses anywhere. Just big buildings and stores of all kinds. In the windows, I saw paint, fabrics, radios, and TVs. We turned into the corner building and climbed the stairs into the apartment. 5 whole flights up. Whew! I tried to catch my breath while Aunt Nanette flicked on the lights. Uncle Romie's talking to some people about his big art show that's coming up. He'll be home soon, Aunt Nanette said. She set some milk and a plate of cookies for me on the table. Your uncle's working very hard, so we won't see much of him for a while. His work room, we call it his studio, is in the front of our apartment. That's where he keeps all the things he needs to make his art. Does he just paint? I asked. Uncle Romie is a collage artist. Aunt Nanette explained. He uses paint, yes, but also photographs, newspapers, cloth. He cuts and pastes them onto a board to make his paintings. That sounds kind of easy, I said. Aunt Nanette laughed. Well, there's a little more to it than that, James. When you see his paintings, you'll understand. Come, let's get you to bed. Lying in the dark, I heard heavy footsteps in the hall. A giant stared at me from the doorway. Hello there, James. Uncle Romie's voice was deep and loud like thunder. Thanks for the pepper jelly, he boomed. You have good sleep now. Then he disappeared down into the hall. The next morning, the door to Uncle Romie's studio was closed, but Aunt Nanette had plans for both of us. Today we're going to a neighborhood called Harlem, she said. It's where Uncle Romie lived as a boy. Harlem was full of people walking, working, shopping, eating. Some were watching the goings-on from fire escapes. Others were sitting out on the stoops greeting folks who passed them by. Just like the people who came back home calling out hellos from their front porches. Most everybody seemed to know Aunt Nanette. A lot of them asked after Uncle Romie too. We bought peaches at the market, then stopped to visit a while. I watched some kids play stickball. Go on, get in that game, Aunt Nanette said, gently pushing me over to join them. When I was all hot and sweaty, we cooled off with a double chocolate scoops from the ice cream man. Later, we shared some barbecue on the rooftop way up high. I felt like I was on top of the world. Okay, I'm going to read 2 more pages with you, and that should be about halfway. And then we're going to pick up the rest tomorrow, okay? So now we're on page 235, where you could see it looks like everyone's on top of the roof. As the days went by, Aunt Nanette took me all over the city. We rode a ferry boat to the Statue of Liberty, zoomed up 102 floors up at the Empire State Building, window shopped at fancy stores on Fifth Avenue, gobbled hot dogs in Central Park. But it was Harlem I liked best. I played stickball with the kids again, and on a really hot day, a whole bunch of us ran through the icy cold water that sprayed hard from the fire hydrant. In the evenings, Aunt Nanette and I sat outside listening to the street musicians playing their saxophone songs. On rainy days, I wrote postcards and helped around the apartment. I told Aunt Nanette about the things I liked to do back home, about baseball games, train watching, my birthday. She told me about the special Caribbean lemon and mango cake she was going to make. My Uncle Romie stayed hidden away in his studio. But I wasn't worried anymore. Aunt Nanette would make my birthday special. 4, 3, 2, 1. My birthday was almost there. And then Aunt Nanette got a phone call. An old aunt has died, James. I have to go away for her funeral. But don't you worry. Uncle Romie will spend your birthday with you. It will be just fine. That night, Aunt Nanette kissed me goodbye. I knew it would not go fine at all. Uncle Romie didn't know about cakes or baseball games or anything except his dumb old paintings. My birthday was ruined. When the sky turned black, lost my part here. When the sky turned black, I tucked myself into bed. I missed Mom and Daddy so much. I listened to the birds on the rooftop. Their songs continued into the night. The next morning, everything was quiet. I crept out of bed and into the hall. For the first time, the door to Uncle Romie's studio was wide open. What a glorious mess! There were paints and scraps all over the floor, and around the edges were huge paintings with all sorts of pieces pasted together. I saw saxophones, birds, fire escapes, and brown faces. It's Harlem, I thought. The people, the music, the rooftops, and the stoops. Looking at Uncle Romie's paintings, I could feel Harlem, its beat and bounce. Then there was one that was different. Smaller houses, flowers, and trains. That's home, I shouted. Yep, Uncle Romie said, smiling from the doorway. That's the Carolina I remember. Mama says you visited your grandparents there most every summer when you were a kid, I said. I sure did, James. Now that's the place for a pepper jelly, smeared thick on biscuits. And when Grandma wasn't looking, I'd sneak some onto a spoon. Daddy and I do that too, I told him. We laughed together and then walked into the kitchen for a breakfast feast. Eggs, bacon, grits, and biscuits. James, you've got remembering the pepper jelly lady. People used to line down the block to buy her preserves. Could you ask someone like that could you put someone like that in one of your paintings, I asked? Okay, we're going to pick the second half of the story up tomorrow. And also talk about the comprehension dig deeper, okay? Thanks for watching.